Welcome back to Digi Bros, playing that Splatoon. So now you're orange instead of green.
Yeah, you change colors every time, like randomly.
Yeah,
and then like when you go back to the map, you'll be a different color too.
Yeah, it weirded me out because you don't
I'm like,
get to
why can't I just choose my color?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I look really stupid.
It's really strange.
Like, I don't want to be fucking orange.
Oh, but it looks awesome. Look at the
It looks
purple
super
tips.
awesome right now. I don't know what the fuck that says. Yeah,
that looks fucking
pretty
cool.
cool.
As shit.
I'm like sparkling or something.
But yeah, it's really weird that you can't choose your color.
Gun, I guess I didn't even know I had my special guns on story mode.
Every story mode mission gives you a color depending on what kind of mission it is, I guess. Whoa, you
Boom!
Whoa!
I didn't know I could use this on story mode.
What is it?
It's a bazooka. It's like my ultimate.
Like your alt?
Yeah. Well,
Sweet.
it's the ultimate gun thing. It's like you have a meter that charges.
So yeah.
Yeah, there's some depth to the online combat, but then it's just like there's not enough variety right now.
Yeah, well, it's also that you won't like the maps change.
Yeah.
Like
and all the maps are basically
the
fucking same. Like
yeah.
They're not particularly interesting, and the music is almost like too energetic.
I'm not that bothered by that because to me, suddenly hear goal in the background. My parents are watching the World Cup finals for women, where America is destroying Japan right now.
Oh yeah,
like
wrecking that shit.
Like an embarrassing amount. But anyways, fuck, what was I talking about? Right, first-person shooters. Music.
I was talking about the music of the game. I thought that's where you were continuing on.
No, like, when I play first-person shooters, I've always found that, like, the levels are all basically the same idea. It's just a place for you to be while you shoot people.
Yes.
Like, I get that when you start playing high-level play, you have to really know the levels and really know, like, where people are going to be. I've never gotten to high-level play in an FPS, you know, so...
Oh, the first
to me, it's just, whatever. It's a bombed-out whatever the fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, this game is immediately awesome because it doesn't take place in a bombed-out whatever the fuck, you know? I'm not, like, in some city. The number one thing that bothers me, especially in, like, stuff like Gears of War, like all the chest-high walls games, is the chest-high walls and how, like, completely unnatural they always are. Where it's, like, I complained about this a lot in our review of The Last of Us. Did you remember that we did a video?
We did a review?
We did, like a 45-minute podcast on The Last of Us.
Let's see.
Back when
I'm sure it's just me making just, like, the worst bitching about that game.
We were both, like, okay with the game, I think. But, one of the things we complained about was how you would walk into an area and, like, you'd be in, like, the story part of the game, and you'd be walking around and everything's very normal. And then you'd walk into a room and you'd just see a bunch of chest-high walls and then a combat section.
It's like, I wonder if a combat section will
Yeah, you'd
start.
literally be like, huh, gee, where's this going?
I might have to fight some dudes in this room.
Yeah. And it was like really goofy and really took me out of the experience, and I couldn't believe that no one else complained about it when everyone talks about how this game is like, oh, the storyline is so engrossing, and it's like, I can't believe this world is real when I literally walk from a normal looking room into a room full of chest high walls, or usually a street.
Which wouldn't be a problem if it weren't the kind of game that's like
trying to be real and
immersive, and
like where the characters have all this dialogue and you're supposed to care about them and feel like it's a real world, and then there's a street that you walk into and all the cars just happen to have stopped in convenient locations around all these guardrails that all just makes for what looks like a level in a video game. And you're just like, oh, alrighty then. So so that's why shooter games levels typically just feel like that to me, you know. And then there's also, like, I always have the one level I like more than all the others anyway. Like, in Halo,
so one you just want to go to, like, Blood Gulch.
Yeah, like Blood Gulch was always the most fun in Halo 2. Or there was like a few levels in Halo 3 I remember. Ascension in Halo 2. Or in like a fighting game, like, those games get repetitive as shit because you don't really pay any attention to the background. You're just like, I'm doing the same fight, you know.
It's just whatever one looks the best aesthetically to you.
And, like, fighting games may be deeper than a game like Splatoon, but I would say this game could possibly be said to have more variety, because if you are trying to get good with one character in a fighting game, you're gonna have the same match over and over again. Me and Brandon Tolentino...
Well, it's because you fight another guy who's also using one character over and over again.
Yeah, but, like, the only way to like for people to get good is to use a character until you're good with it. Like, you know, if I played against you in Street Fighter and we kept changing characters, we'd both suck. Or if one of us stuck to one character and the other guy was changing characters, then I'd always win. You know, like if I'm the one keeping my character. But Brandon Tolentino is currently trying to become like a pro Street Fighter player because he's pretty much pro tier at Persona 4. But Persona 4 is not that big of a game. It doesn't get a lot of attention, and not enough people play it. You know, he did pretty well in a tournament here, like that big tournament that was mostly a Mortal Kombat tournament, which he lost in his like first or second match in that because he was playing against like really high ranked players. But in Persona 4 he did really well, but there was no streams of it. There's no evidence of his victory because no one was. That was the like only game that no one was streaming. And he loves Mortal Kombat X, but he's really interested in trying to become like a pro Street Fighter 4 Ultimate player.
That's the biggest and best community and shit like that.
And he's really into fighting game communities, so you know. And
he has a character that he likes because all the characters in Street Fighter 4 can be like pro tier characters, whereas like in Smash Bros he can be a pro tier player, but his character is shit.
Because the only character he plays is Ness, and like it's.
And it isn't like Smash 4 Ness, where it's like Smash 4 Ness is good, but then he just doesn't like the game. The
only like he could maybe become like an expert at what's it called, the mod.
Project M.
Project M, like
he loves. But even
Project
in that,
M,
like Ness can only get so far.
I don't think Ness is pretty fucking good in that, but again, not as many people play it. Most people play Melee, where Ness is worthless.
Yes.
You know? So yeah, he's had a hard time like with the games that he likes, like getting into like a good community. So he's trying to become great at Street Fighter Ultimate, and he plays Guy, and Brandon has the time and dedication to actually practice like a pro, where he will play.
And he absorbs himself in the culture. All he does is watch Street Fighter videos while he plays Street Fighter.
Exactly.
And he gets immersed in it.
And he's been doing this, like he comes over to our house and just sits there in Victor's room and plays Street Fighter streams and plays Street Fighter.
I'm sure he would prefer if I like played with him, but like I'm not into the game, so it's like
none of us are good enough to fight him anymore.
And I have no desire to be good at Street Fighter. Like I just don't enjoy it.
Yeah,
as much.
That's kind of how I feel. Where like I would love to get good, but I would never.
It's like Smash Bros. I really care about. I'd love to get really good at Smash 4 because I actually really enjoy it.
Right.
But it's a game where I consistently can beat Brandon, and so it's just like I can tell he's not into the game.
Yeah, the only games that I would like to like fighting games I'd love to get good at would be like Smash, Skullgirls, and if it ends up being as fun as I hope it will, Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax when that shit comes out. I am so hyped for that.
Yes.
But anyways, yeah, he plays Guy. He's ridiculously good at this point, and none of us in our group of friends can beat him. The other day, not the other day, it was like a few weeks ago, whenever the conference happened, where I played him like for 2 straight hours. It was just me playing Cammy and him playing Guy. And I could not beat him for 2 hours until he got distracted because you were watching the Star Fox announcement. And he was so distracted that I beat him, and that was the only time I won.
Yeah.
But like,
I think I beat him once as Balrog, like the day I played the most.
It's hard to like.
And that was a while ago, and he's gotten even better since then.
Like, it's cool for me when I play anybody else because I'm better than, like, I'd say other than Don-san, I'm better than everybody else except Brandon. It's like Brandon, at Street Fighter 4. It's like
I haven't played you much, so
it's Brandon, then Don-san, then me, then you, then Trevor, then Josh.
Yeah.
I'd say that's the tier listing.
Probably.
And even Don-san's like close enough to my level that I can play and have fun. But Brandon's on such... Like, he perfects me sometimes.
Yes.
And it's just
he will fucking wreck my shit. One day I'll have a match where I'm doing really, really good, and then the next match he perfects me. And I'm like, this is just fucked.
Because he'll figure out what you're doing.
Instead of, like,
and,
another level.
Oh.
This is why it's confusing, because I've already beat all these levels.
So yeah, like, I'd love to get into it, but it's just, he's too far above my level, and I will never have time to get there. Like, or dedication, you know? Because I'm into... other shit. I'm into anime. Like, For me, anime and games always have to compete for time because I spend so much time on anime that like any time I spend on games is immediately taking away from my anime time. You know, I watched like I think I've watched probably 40 episodes of anime in the last couple days. Like I finished all of Hibike Euphonium, all of Durarara Season 2, all of caught up on Food Wars.
Which is wonderful.
I'm starting to catch up on Baby Steps. There was something else I caught up on. I don't remember. Oh, Kofuku Graffiti. So I watched all that in like 2.5 days or so.
Nice.
But that's all time I did not spend playing Street Fighter, where Brandon probably spent all of that time playing Street Fighter. You know,
that's why we can't keep up. You have to like dedicate all your time to it.
Yeah, it really does have to be like your main hobby.
Do all the training modes and shit. It's just like no, not dedicated.
Nope. Maybe I could get that way with Skullgirls, but there always gets to be a point where it's just like, okay, I'm bored, I don't care anymore. Like, I've done this match 30 times today. It's not fun. I've done it already. Like, I get it. I get where it's gonna happen.
You don't go and like practice all your combos and shit, and like go into practice mode and do the same combo over and over again. Like learn new combos.
Because it's all repetition, and like you have to really be into it. And I'm not that into it. It was interesting. I was watching Baby Steps, and in one of the recent episodes, he was trying to learn how to listen to his intuition.
Yes.
And like he was saying how like his intuition has been listening to his reason and learning from it, and therefore now his intuition can perform with the backing of reason. And that was cool because that's like that's something you have to be able to do as not only as a sportsman but also as an e-sportsman. You know, like to play fighting games well, it's all you have to have fast reaction times and like
because you have
be able to logically
practice it to the point where you're not thinking about the movements anymore. You already have your arsenal of skills and you can pull them off without thinking about it. You're just now analyzing the opponent and what they're doing.
One of the fun things was when we really learned the way Brandon thinks when we played against him drunk.
Yes,
because
that was great.
he doesn't stop talking. If you play against Brandon when he's really drunk in Street Fighter 4, he keeps talking and he's literally saying every single thought he's having about your moves. He'll be like, you did one of those, so now I'm gonna do this thing and reverse it on you and I'm going to destroy you.
I had watched this video of a dude.
Fucking crazy.
Like, this dude's playing Dark Souls 2 PvP, and he literally does that same thing where he narrates literally everything he's thinking, and he's thinking so much shit. Right. And he knows so much context to, like, oh, this guy has this sword, he probably plays this way, you know, he's played all these different types a million times, and so he knows exactly what's going on, and it's like, that's the kind of skill you need. You have to see your opponent and go, I know all that guy's moves.
Right.
And exactly how to beat them.
Exactly. And, that's the level of dedication that I've never gotten to. Yeah. But I will say this, that I think I am, as a writer, the way that people are as sportsmen, where I write very instinctually. Like, when I don't have to think much about what I write.
Yes. I mean, anything when you get deep enough into it, it's like, that's how it is when I'm making films and shit. It's just like, some of it's just, like, gotten to the point where I don't have to think about it.
Right. I think that's something that's really hard to explain to people who aren't deep into something. Like, who don't have that kind of skill in some category, like...
Or don't realize they have that skill. Like, some people just don't know that they're...
But, like, you know, if people were to ask me, like... Because the hardest thing for me, I've talked about this on the show before, but like the hardest thing for me is giving people advice on writing, because for me it's so second nature. I've been doing it forever. You know, I've been writing for like 15 years. And
I don't know, the fucking Dead Sea Scrolls.
Yeah, there's a secret in every level. There's a secret scroll in every level.
Oh, man, that's
I realized you didn't realize that. I forgot I was going to tell you that that's what we should do, was collect all the secret scrolls.
Well, it's too fucking late now. I
completely forgot that I was going to tell you that, because I got the one in the first level that you didn't have. It was on top of like one of these random pillars.
Did they give you anything? I think I've got
they
one
give you
before.
story. Yeah, you got one. I checked. You can check. There's a list of them in the gamepad.
Yeah, it says Sunken Scrolls there.
Yeah. So
So I knew. I just forgot.
I got one in the first level.
I don't know which fucking levels I've done.
All right, that's it for this episode of Digi Bros. We'll be back next time. I'll continue the thought I was having.